Elephantman Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man, Moray DB. Like, subscribe, share the notification bell so you can know when new material is going down. Elephantman_podcast is IG /Facebook. Elephantman Podcast, Twitter /Poster Boys, or you can hit the Paleo Hebrew in the top right or the bottom right corner so you can subscribe. And some people will tell me some people will unsubscribe. So make sure you don't double check for your notifications as well. Blessings to y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Blessings to y'all. I want to make sure I get back into the swing of things. Have my Sunday weekly builds every Sunday. Also, Rumble, I know. Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Hebrew Connect, and Hebrew Sphere. Subscribe today. All right. Blessings to everybody that's coming in. Make sure you subscribe and share. Woke Baby says subscribe. Woke Baby says subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. All right. The Sunday weekly bill. It's just a mishmash. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. I'm glad to see everybody. Well, hear everybody. And then also, speaking of seeing everybody, we're going to get off this icon probably within a week or two because I like to interact. I like you to see the facial expressions. I have no problem. I'm not trying to hide my face, but I'm in a different location other than the studio that I usually be in with the banner in the back, for those who watch the old videos. I'm going to get back to that because the icon is cool, but I like to interact and let you see what's going on, my facial expressions, whether I'm happy, mad, sad, glad, or whatever. So blessings to all y'all who coming in. Thank you all. 100,000 views. 100,000 views on June 26th. Now, to some of you mega channels, we get it. You got 100,000 views 5 years ago. But I thank you all for 100,000 views. Thank you. Shalom and blessings to everyone that is coming in. All right. It's a mishmash of different things I'm gonna share today. We had the Jump programs, which stand for Junior Urban Master Producers, and they were learning. We had an intense learning for 7 weeks, and then it went from theory to practice, and we tried to teach the young people the importance of growing fresh fruits and vegetables. And here is a picture of some of the guys. It was over like 47 some kids, ages 5th grade through 12th grade. And so they got the Junior Urban Master Producer certificates. Here's another picture. My son put my nephew in the headlock. You see, if you look in the top left corner pocket, he got the merch on right there. And my other son, and that's the mayor-elect for the city of Gary, Indiana, Chocolate City. So that was a blessing. Then right here, we were with the Larkin brothers afterwards, too, some young men coming up. So we're not waiting for change. We're creating change. And I didn't do that to stroke my ego or pat my head or pat me on the back or anything like that. I'm just saying I am a person that believes in action. I'm a person that believes in self-autonomy. And if we're waiting for somebody else to change our situation, we'll be waiting for a long time, right? With somebody to say we can go, we can't go, or whatever. So we got to make sure we create our own, you know what I'm saying, with the help of Yahushua all day, every day. Also, when we have the Faith Farms, matter of fact, I'm going to cue this other video up first when it's talking about the Faith Farms down in Gary, Indiana. A lot of the hoods and a lot of different places in around the world, around the United States, look the same. I went to Cincinnati, went to Milwaukee, went to different places, Chicago, St. Louis, you name it. And the places where we at, it's just ran down. You know what I mean? Parts of Baltimore, different things like that, and the places that I've been to. But the people are there, right? That's the greatest commodity is the people that's made in the image and likeness of Yahuwah, right? And so we got to be praying for our communities, and no one will change our community, change the things that's going on in our community except for us, with the help of the Most High. All right, so we got different things. Sharice, no sound? No sound? You can hear me now? Okay, Sharice Reed, shalom. Angie, love y'all. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we do. Okay, hopefully we get some sound now, because that's crazy. Because I was just chopping at the bit and wasn't letting nobody know. So yeah, again, I didn't do that to stroke no egos or anything like that. Just to let you know what we're doing, something positive in the community to give us a balance. Now, where the site is at, I'm gonna share this video, but the site is right across the street from an abandoned school, right? It's kind of boarded up, and so they be having like they recently had a fire over there, and so the channel NBC News came out to take the footage of the footage of the school being on fire. Turn around and they like, what's going on over here? And so they come over and see us. We got goats, we got chickens, we got strawberries, we got all kind of stuff going on. And so that's crazy how they came over and they interviewed us. That's yours truly over there getting interviewed. They came out and interviewed me and some of the students. So it's very interesting. So what draws them there was the abandonment of the school, and then they turn around and they see life going on. And so we can do that to a lot of our communities, a lot of desolate, broken down homes. If we can learn how to grow our own fresh fruits and vegetables, that will be a must. That's a must, and that will be a plus. So I'm going to share this video of the site real quick, and let me see. It's a mishmash of different things we're going to talk about today, guys, and it's not going to be long either. So I'm going to share this video if you ain't seen it already.
You know, when new material is coming out, we out here at the farm. Blessings to y'all. We got my brother. He's putting it in. Shalom. Oh, he said shalom. Man, that's what I'm talking about. We got my other brother. Oh.
You want me to dump it right there?
Yeah. So we out here. And I'm trying to turn the camera around.
Here I am.
Oh, let's turn the camera around so I'll be able to do it like that. That's better.
Yeah.
What's going on? We got all my brothers. Say shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Oh, snap. We in here with the chickens, the young chickens. That means peace.
I don't.
Okay, we in here with the chickens. Got everything going on. Got Minister Cobb out here working. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, brother?
You focused? You focused? Potatoes. What's going
How's
on?
everybody doing?
Peace. Peace. Yeah.
Hair grease?
Peace and head grease and all that. Got the chickens going on. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. We out here. We're going to go over here. We got the cucumbers going on. I know it's a spontaneous live, and I know I didn't promote it, but it's okay. Then we got the water, the strawberries, and the greens. This is strawberries right here. Strawberry patch. And then right here, these are seedlings of the greens, the mustard greens, and the turnip greens, and a giant mustard. If I should say it right. Okay? And I forgot what was right there. So we about to get off in a minute because we got to get to work. Then over here we got the ducks. The goats. We're going to go over here and see what's going on with the goats. Blessings to everybody this morning. Shalom and shalom to my folk. We're out here with the goats. We got Julian out here. Yo, urban farming and urban agriculture is what's needed. We need to get back to our roots. There you go. I don't know where the baby at. What you got to say, Julian? Salama family, salama. What's up? Okay, that's what's up. It is nice being out here. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's in an urban setting. I'm just coming to get a picture of y'all. It's in an urban setting. My nephew Malachi, shalom. that nod is his shalom, so it's okay. And then we got what's going on out here, man? They don't know me. That's why they kind of scared.
I did the animal. I did the seat.
We got Reggie over here.
Hello.
All right. Got the other Malachi right here.
What's up?
1 second. I'm getting off the live in a minute. So yeah, urban Junior Urban Master Producers, Urban Gardening and Farming, going back to our roots, trying to have sustainable living, growing our own fresh fruits and vegetables in the inner city, Chocolate City. Check out this right here. This mural representation, praise Yahuwah, all day, every day. Representation on that mural. More kiddos, interns. And right here it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. All right.
All right.
So we design
So
as a
so
compost.
that's that. All right. So I got off of that, but that's that. So we really praying that more youth get involved, more people of all ages get involved. You know, and some people say, "Oh man, I've heard this statement at least twice. Oh man, that's like slavery. You're out here like picking cotton and stuff." I said, "No, that's trying to deter you away from doing that. The slavery was bad, and working for free is even worse. But when you can, learn how to grow, you know where your food is coming from, right? Food is medicine, and you also know how to it's local, right? You know you got to worry about process, additives and preservatives. So if you can, get to growing, even if it's in the bag. So that's what's going on with that. But anyway, then we had another guy come by. I did not know this guy was famous right here. This dude right here, the white guy to the right in the picture, that's Sister Frida. His name was Tommy G. He's supposed to be a famous YouTuber. Now you can tell from the building across the street, it is kind of abandoned. And he was coming to do a documentary. I don't think it came out yet about Gary the Gangster Ghost Town. That's the name of his video he's gonna edit and put out. And he said he go to dilapidated areas. He's from Milwaukee. Gary the Gangster Ghost Town or something like that. So I'm like, man, it's kind of exploity. But on the flip side, he came and he was taking a picture of the abandoned school across the street. Same thing. Turn around, seeing like, what's going on over here? What y'all got going on over here? And we gave him a tour of the farm, and he was amazed. Like, wow, you know what I mean? Picked some fresh strawberries, and it's like, man, I guess it's good in these areas as well. Like, you're right, young man, it is. It's good and bad. It ain't just all bad, It ain't, and so we can change the narrative, right? And again, that's another reason why I show them different things, not to pat myself on the head or the back or anything, but we need to start showing a different narrative, right? Because it is life, right? It's law-abiding citizens, it's hard-working people, right? It's people that the mailman and the prime driver and everything else. We live and we want to live our lives too, right? So it ain't all plighting and stick up kids and drugs and alcohol, and that's there too, but that's not just our whole story, right? And so I want to make sure that we shared that. So I'm glad he came by at that time, you know what I mean, so he can see life, right? Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. So I want to go ahead and I want to show this video. This is kind of a throwback video from Shobaraka, My Hood USA. Very, very powerful video. I'm gonna share it. I've been having this in rotation lately. This album came out like 2017 or 16 or something, but it's a good video, right? And I want Israel to know that there's hope, there's life, right? But just listen to this song. Very, very interesting video. Check it out.
Just run it back to the top because I'm gonna do something different.
I got a story. It's not, it's a story. It's a love story. It's not your typical type of love story though. But just listen. Once upon a time, but not long ago, before for the civil rights movement and the new Jim Crow. Sit back, I'll introduce you to a wonderful place in every state called My Hood, USA. Life wasn't perfect, but they did what they could. And people took pride in their neighborhood. They had doctors and lawyers, artists, barbers and teachers, entrepreneurs, politicians and preachers, stable universities, sports leagues and banks. You invest and trade here because in other places you can't. Black owned, from the cradle to the coffin. Before the NBA, we had a history of balling. Durham, Greenwood, Atlanta, Sweet, Auburn, Quakertown, and Denton, Third Ward, Houston. But here's a caution. Why they wanted their turn to just earn and make a living? Some just wanted them to burn, baby, burn. It was vicious. If the city wasn't consumed by unexplained flames, it would eventually change due to eminent domain. How can you own a home if you can't get a loan? And the powers that be just redline your zone. The government wants your value to drop, so then the private investors come through and buy up your spot. You can't win fighting the government and KKK. Plus integration hit my hood in a curious way. Blacks moved to the burbs, trying to escape the system, but they took stability and wealth right along with them. The ownership and financial stimulation, it makes it much easier for gentrification. We ain't building jobs to build schools to build wisdom, but instead we build debt, so they build more prisons. With few taxpayers, they make money off policing. Fines and tickets, I'm getting searched for no reason. Police are underpaid, but they are making a killing. And compound that with the crack epidemic. So now we got dope fiends shooting dope who don't know the meaning of Harvard nor Hope. Howard a brave few, even at Tuskegee. Morehouse next to the poorhouse, baby, we leaving for the American dream. It's in the burbs now. Opportunities in my hood get turned down. Community service groups, they turn into gangs. They hammers with bad aim, they banging on everything. So now my friend on the next street becomes my enemy. No job to distract us, cause we ain't got an industry. All we got is liquor stores next to a Burger King, next to a pawn shop, next to a Dairy Queen, next to the China shop, next to the gas station, next to the 5 churches, next to the building that's vacant. Most of the businesses owned by the Asians, so the money never stays in the same location. This is the truth. This ain't hating. If the church can't change it, then who should we place faith in? Some blame welfare, some blame the music, some blame the dealer, some blame the user. Turn on the news, let's figure out who we blaming. Many benefit off my hood from not changing. Exploit my culture, they aiding and abetting. It's the black stock exchange, they buying and they selling. It's generations of self-hate and psychosis. In my hood, it's almost innate to feel hopeless. Predatory lending and banking in my hood. We ain't creating wealth, we just importing goods. But a change gonna come is what I tell the youngsters. This is a love song, I like to call it justice.
I wish words could really tell you how I feel, but words are only really noise until they come to life. I am done, I know we try. This is not another
One time, hey young world, love is yours, hey young world. This love is yours, young world, young world. One more, hey young world. This love is yours, hey young world. This love is yours, young world. World is yours, young world. Shed a
I
light.
wish words could really tell you how I feel.
All right. I hope I don't get hit up with a fair use. Let me play my fair use behind that. That's why I put the fair use at the bottom. This is a good song, very powerful song. Man, where's my fair use disclaimer at? Let me get my fair use out, man, so they don't take this video down. Oh, come on. Not everything want to stick. Fair use.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Again, fair use.
All right. Fair use with that video, right? Fair use. Shalom, Calvin Andrews. What's going on, Bloods? Blessings to you, brother. Make sure you share. Share it on Taylor's page. I didn't get a chance to share it on there. But yeah, man, we got 6 p.m. Central Sunday evening. we're gonna continue to have our Sunday builds. So that very very powerful, very powerful song. I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can be able to check that song out if you haven't heard about it already. I'm pretty sure you guys heard that already. Pretty sure you heard it. That's a very good song. And the last thing before we get out of here is Shannon Sharp. I was wondering, like, they got rid of Shannon Sharp, but then I seen this video. This video powerful right here. So I know people will think I'm meddling. I need to turn the other cheek and give it to Republican Jesus. I get it. But I want you to watch this video. It's very, very powerful. Check it out.
So Shannon, do you find it difficult to discuss race
Fair
with white
use.
people?
I do. Because Skip, if you talk all the way real about America and try to have an open and honest dialogue, conversation with white America,
Yep.
then it would go to it would tear down the very foundation, the very fabric in which they said America was built on. America was not built on freedom. America was built on racism. And the backbone, the lifeblood, the economy of America was built on the backs of slaves. That is fact.
Yep.
And racism is so ingrained in America because, Skip, from the very first time when you brought those slaves over in 1619, you had someone to look down on. You robbed him of his given name. You robbed him of his dignity. You robbed him of his humanity. You told him he was less than. You treated him as less than. And then somehow you say, what? That America is what? America is how? He never received that. You got 250 years of free labor.
Yep.
250. Because, Skip, let me tell you how this works, Skip. When you hire someone to do something, either you can't do the job or you don't want to do the job. So which is it? So as America was thriving, who was doing the work? The workers. It wasn't you. Not only were they working in the field, they were taking care of your kids before they could take care of their own. So this notion that America will, white people did, we did all this. No, you didn't. Skip, and then you have to look. The greatest purveyor of racism and violence is the American white man. No race of people have suffered more on American soil than the black. No one. To this day. So you had 250.
I mean, you could argue the Native Americans.
But Skip,
yeah,
they weren't enslaved for 250.
No, they were not.
Now,
they were just murdered often and their homes taken from them. But
that's what happened.
I got it.
And
I'm just saying, for on balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing was, Skip, and they still did it, and they did it.
Yeah.
See, guess what they did? So they've been stealing and looting since the inception of America.
True.
So when you talk openly and honestly about what they did to the American black, and then it's like, oh, get over that. That was so long ago. That's ingrained. Years and years, Skip, where you don't have any income. So great-grandfathers had sons and sons and sons that had nothing. They had no wealth. While they were passing it down from generation to generation, he was a slave owner. His son was a slave owner. His son became a slave owner. His son became a slave owner. You see how that wealth kept going down the line? Where we were having to start from scratch and Skip because, you couldn't read. A lot of these guys, they couldn't read. And if they caught you reading, they beat you or they killed you. So it took us a long time. And those were the one happened to be the few that overcame.
Yep.
So if we have open and honest conversation about what America is and how America came to be, how do you tell the story without telling about the American slave and his significant role in American history? But they'll tell you about George Washington. George Washington had slaves. They'll tell you about Thomas Jefferson. He owned slaves too, but he wrote the Declaration. You see, Skip, but he wrote the Declaration of Independence. What about them slaves that he had? What about
He even had kids with him.
Yeah, and that wasn't by choice. Stanley Hemings was 14 years old.
Yep.
So in other words, and he took across state lines and across seas for immoral purpose. But that's Skip. I don't want to get too far to that. But you know what I'm talking about. So if we tell the story of America in its totality, truthfully, honestly, white America can't deal with that, Skip, because they want to feel that we discovered it because we wanted a better way of life and we yada, yada, yada. But that's not it. And so you're going to have to rewrite history. All those history books will have to be burned. Instead of sidebars and footnotes, the African American would have to be featured very prominently. And I don't know if America really wants to do that. I really don't.
Have you ever sat down and had a conversation with a white man about race relations like you just
No,
had with
because anytime we talk about race, the first thing they talk about, well, Shannon, what about the black on black crime? What about the violence in Chicago? You see, it's always Skip. I got to shift it. I don't want to talk about. Let's talk about this head on. Let's talk about what you did, how you robbed and pillaged and looted Native Americans of their land, and how you enslaved, brought men and women to cultivate this land, to grow. Skip, cooking. Who did all the cooking? Miss Mary ain't do no cooking. Who took care of the kids? She ain't take care of no kids. So, man, stop this. If you're going to tell the story, we're going to have to tell it in totality, Skip. But we'll have to tell it honestly. And Skip, that's 400 years. That's too much history. You're over 401 years. You don't really want to rewrite that kind of history.
Because I've always talked about race.
I think the reason why it's so easy for you to talk about race, Skip, because you've accepted the part that the white man has played in the shaping of America and the atrocities in which he's perpetrated against this black America and the Native Americans on American soil. You're open to that. A lot of people are not open to that. The reason why blacks are so open, it's happened to us. It's cathartic for us because we're talking about what has happened. You see what you're doing is that you said, and my grandmother did a lot. My grandmother had that type of relationship where she worked for people and she raised their kids and she would let them play with her own, with her kids. But Skip, that goes back centuries because the black women would suckle the white children before they suckled their own. So if you want to tell the story in its totality, Skip, there's something called a Mississippi appendectomy. What that was that black women would go to get procedures and the doctors would give them a hysterectomy. So in order to tell the story about America, you have to tell it all in its totality.
That's true.
The good, the bad, and the indifferent. Skip, we don't want to tell that side. We want to paint America as, because America is viewed as this place on a hill that everything is so pristine, it's so it's so lovely. But if you go back and you look at his history, 1619. Even when they said the 1865 Emancipation freed the slaves, Skip, freedom to do what? Skip, if he had no education, he had no money, he had no land, guess what he went back and did? He went right back to the very same situation. And they called it sharecropping. What are we sharing? Are we splitting this 50-50? No, you work for me, I give you a place to stay, but I get all the benefits of the crop. But see, Skip, the thing is with you, although you're stubborn, you're very open-minded. You're very receptive to see a different point of view, even though it doesn't coincide with your own. So many people that look like you, that of your color.
Wow. And him and Skip and Shannon had a run-in. And that's interesting. What y'all think about that? Very, very interesting. And it's like, nah, he too vocal. Too vocal, too free. But you know what? The healing can't really start and truth can't really go forth unless we start dealing with it and talking about it. But in order for the kingdom of racism, white supremacy, look, I done messed my whole show up. In order for the kingdom of racism, white supremacy to go forward, we gotta just tuck it under the rug, forget it, don't talk about it no more, get away with it. Just get it out of my face, right? So I think that's even with this when they got to pass laws and bills. You know about this one, Ron DeSantis. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis. This is last year. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis announced the Stop the Wrongs of Our Kids and Employees, or WOKE Act, a legislative proposal that give businesses, employees, children, families tools to fight back against woke indoctrination. The Stop the Woke Act will be the strongest legislation of its kind in the nation and will take on both corporate wokeness and critical race theory. Today's proposal builds an action of Governor DeSantis already taken a banned critical race theory to the New York Times 1619 project in Florida schools. So they wanted to eliminate that book, and for the 1619, the 2019 is 400 years, and they don't want to even talk about that. Even they talking about 400 years, but we in our community like it's past 400 years. It ain't 2019 no more. We get it, right? But it ain't been the same since 2019 either. But I digress. For more information about the woke, click here. Then it says in Florida, we are taking a stand against state-sanctioned racism that is critical race theories, said DeSantis. We won't allow Florida tax dollars to be spent teaching kids to hate our country and to hate each other. So that looks upon as hate. Truth is looked upon as hate. We also have a responsibility to ensure the parents have the means to vindicate the rights when it comes to enforcing state standards. Finally, we must protect Florida workers against the hostile work environments that create when large corporations force their employees to endure CRT spirited training and indoctrination. That's crazy. And so that was the Woke Act not too long ago. But they can't deal with it, right? But if you really want true healing to take place, we got to deal with it, right? We can't pick the scab. You ever had a scab? You pick that scab, you're going to start bleeding all over again. We got to let it heal. And we let it heal by talking about it. But my conservatism and my racist ideology, I can't be on top if I do that, right? I have to change my disposition if I do that. So I digress. What you guys think about that? Let me know. Excuse me. But so and then I think one thing that's kind of interesting is they infuse the wokeness with the LG or the alphabet community and the quote unquote civil rights of the so-called African American community. They infuse it, you know, and but it's different. It's different. But I think we always say things like we want a seat at the table. We want a seat at the table. Our ideology should be we don't want a seat at the table. We want to be left alone when we build our own. We want self-autonomy so we can bring some to the table if we want to. But if we don't want to, we should be able to be community sustainability. We should be able to sustain ourselves even if we come to the table or not. Because that's too much power. That's too much authority, right? For that. So we should, I think this is just my opinion, we should be able to have our own, right? And I understand diversity and inclusion, but even a lot of the different people that have diversity and inclusion, they get one or two black brothers and sisters to join their group, diversity and inclusion, right? To say, look, we're multicultural, right? But they controlling all of the wealth, all of the grants, all of the resources. They call all of the shots, right? And we're partnership because you're a little position. No. And I'm about to get on the soapbox in a second. Yes, Southside Sam, shalom. All praise to the Most High Yah. Blessings to you. But I just say in closing, I'm getting off. We need autonomy, not from the Most High, but we need autonomy from the system, right? We need to have our own, right? But we've been taught great by and by. We just be, you'll get yours in heaven. Turn the other cheek, love your enemy, and get yours in heaven, right? And it just really, really messed us up. And we taking scripture out of context. You know what I mean? Turn the other cheek, love your enemy, and get yours in heaven. That's the main thing that we're taught and told, right? And then we sent the guilt or gaslighted guilt trip, you know, to say Yahushua died on the cross, so you need to calm it down, right? They come after the quote unquote, not I ain't gonna say the victim because we're not victims at all. We're far from it. But we've been done. And we know why we've been done. But now it's time for it's healing, right? And even in closing, for real, when we came out of Babylon, I always get this example. And the elders wanted to build a porch so they could start building the things for the altar. And other people was like, yo, can we come along and help you? Can we help you build this thing? And they're like, no, I'm good, love, for lack of a better term. We got this. This is between us and our Abba Yahuwah. We transgressed against him. We good. Let us get ourselves together, not in our own strength, but let us be reconciled back to the Most High. And I'm not talking about separatism. By far, I'm not talking about separatism at all. But what I am saying is we need to have our own. We spend so much money. The buying power is so powerful. That's why Arabs and Koreans and other nationalities move right to our neighborhood and do, whether it's selling cell phones, whether it's selling chicken wings, whether it's selling hair, whether it's doing nails, no matter what it is, they know where the bank is at, right? But then they take it and they go to their communities, and rightfully so. I ain't hating, right? You provided a service. We don't have the services provided, right? So we come to you because we need these services, and you take it out and build whatever community you at. I see people rolling, leaving with Infinities and Lexuses and all kind of stuff, leaving the hood, right? And it is what it is. All I'm just saying is we could change the narrative. We take a piece of that pie, and we have the dollar circulate in our community, like even Claude Anderson was talking about, having a dollar circulate in our community more than once. As soon as we get paid, the dollar leaves our community the majority of the time, right? Maybe once. Get paid, boom. If the liquor store owner, if people that drink, if he's a so-called African American, give it to him, and then right after that, it's going somewhere else. Or if you go on, oh man, I just got paid, I'm gonna eat something. Bam, give it to the person who made you some, smoked turkey tips or whatever, and then after that, it's out the community. So our communities are decimated. They're ran down, right? They're downtrodden, right? We need to be able to have self-autonomy so we can build it up, right? And then the taxes on the houses is low in in our community because of white flight happens a lot. But we shouldn't depend on nobody, because that we're stagnant, we're stuck, right? We're stuck. We're waiting for a certain political leader to come in, or a certain preacher to come in town and preach us happy. You know what I mean? Instead of rolling up our sleeves, the gifts, talents, and abilities that Yahuwah give us, and we can build our community. We have to work together, right? We build our community. We know how to separate. You see the last couple of months in the Hebrew community, we've separated a second. We know how to sling mud and shoot bullets at each other. That's easy. But the coming together part is hard. And then we call everybody a rebel. I'm the one that's with the Most High. Everybody else that's against me is the rebel. Okay. You might be the rebel, but I digress. Or you might be the most righteous. But it ain't about us being right. It's about his righteousness at the end of the day. I always say that. It's not about us being righteous. It's about his righteousness at the end of the day. All right? So I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I think that's very interesting. You know what I mean? That self-autonomy is needed, right? Self-autonomy is needed. It is needed, right? It is very, very much needed to build our communities up. And I remember before we could move to suburbs or the other side of the tracks that they used to call it, everybody had to stay in the same area. It don't matter what your status was. You didn't go to school to Tuskegee or historically back area. You're not coming over. We're not integrating, right? So the doctors, the lawyers, the butchers, the bakers, the candlestick maker, the teachers, the bus drivers, the person at beauty salon, and the nurses, the hospital had to stay in the same community. But guess what? It built that community up because the dollar circulated and circulated and circulated and circulated in that area, which built that community up, right? But now And again, I'm not condoning moving out of the hood. I'm just saying being able to give back to those areas, because we go to school. Man, I got to do better. We go to school, we do better, and we move on the other side of the tracks, thinking life is great and grand, and then but we never really put back, and then begin to keep up with the Joneses. Now that's one thing I can say from moving into a suburb area, moving from the hood. The hood was, I ain't gonna say it like this, but the hood was straight love. I ain't gonna even lie to you, right? It was some cons to it. I had some people climb through my window and take my TV, this, that, and the other. But for the most part, it was. I can only speak for myself. It was love, right? It was a lot of love, man. Some jealousy too. You know, you get a little something that's the next man didn't get, then they looking at you. But for the most part, it was straight love. Then they moved to the little suburb area, and it's like everybody, from only my experience, snooty, and they might wave, but we ain't talking like that, like we used to do. Little league and football and flag football and bitty ball. It was different, right? As opposed to, man, keeping up with the Joneses, and man, you got a birdhouse, I got a birdhouse. You got this, I got that. You know, who got the best car in the lot? Who got the newest iPhone? And that stuff don't even matter, right? You're still one paycheck away from poverty if you're not financial literate, right? All in debt. That ain't it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know, that's not the model. You know, our model, the Hebraic model, is based off community, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here, but I think that's very interesting. I think it's very interesting. We got to come together, and even if to share a meal and say a prayer, we do got to come together, right? We do. I have to say that I've been busy, and it's been some circles that I have not been around that I'm going to frequent again. But it just gotta, we gotta have a purpose. We gotta have reason, right? And come together for a purpose, and not to waste time, talent, and treasure. Ernest Higgs, Shalom. Shalom, Ernest Higgs. Blessings to you. Yeah, blessings to you. Yeah. Blessings to you. Blessings, shalom. So we definitely we got to come together, man. We know how to divide and conquer. We know how to do that. And it's all by design, right? We know how to do that. But suffering is going to make us come together, because that's what happened in the 40s and the 50s, right? The boycotts, and all them different civil rights stuff. Man, we had no choice but to come together. We ain't have options like that. And so when the heat gets turned up again, we have no options like that, right? So we just praise the Most High. Abba Yah, in the name of Yahushua, we thank you for your grace, your mercy. You said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw men unto me. We lift you up. We honor you. We adore you. There's none like you in the heavens and the earth. Give us the witty inventions. Abba Yah, you bless all of us with talent. Abba Yah, let us use that talent to bring us wealth, and let us use that talent to build our communities. Let us look out for one another, Abba Yah, in the name of Yahushua. We thank you. We worship you. You said, beloved, I worship of all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Abba Yah, let us have a prosperous soul. You said, cast your cares upon you, that you care for us. Abba Yah, let us cast our cares upon you, that you care for us. Abba Yah, you want to give us wells we haven't dug, and vineyards we haven't planted, and houses we haven't even built. And your only request is not to worship nobody else but you, the Abba of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Abba of true Israel. We worship you, Abba Yah, and not the Catholic false God. And we thank you for all the many blessings you bestowed upon us. In Yahushua's name, amen. Salama. Salama, you love Yah. Salama. Salama Yashara. Blessings to you, Ruha Mashama. Blessings to you. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Dante's coming on in about 30 minutes. We're gonna check him out. Southside Sam, blessings to you. Blessings to you. Share this channel. Share the channel. If you coming in late, replay it. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna have a panel and the game show next week. So I'm gonna put the email. Where's my email at? Dang. I thought I had an email. But anyway, I'll put it in the chat, and if you guys are interested, you come on, we chew the fat, we chop it up, okay? So the email, I'm gonna type it in here, elephantman050 @gmail.com. Ninja Fire, Shalama, brother. Hold on, let me put this on here. So that's my email, elephantman050 @gmail.com. Email me. Let me know if you want to be on the panel. We're going to chop it up, chew the fat. I'll give you the questions beforehand, not because we're trying to fabricate and control, just so you won't be thrown off, right? So I'll give you the questions, and we're going to chew the fat. Or we might just have that. We might just have that game, this little video game show. I'm having surprises or whatever. Merch is coming. Merch is coming. I know I've been saying that, but it's growing season, so I went from doing 2 and 3 videos a week to 1 video every other week, and I miss my peeps. Miss my peeps. All right, listen to you, Shalawam Ninja Firewolf. Blessings, blessings, blessings. All right, Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversations, Dylan Evans in the room. I am out.
Perfect.